What up, fellas? I'm happy to jump in with y'all, man. I'm happy, everybody looks to be safe and sound. We was able to kind of jump in on this call at the last minute and kind of get our perspective on something. So yesterday we got some information, guys, that Kanye is going to run for president in 2020. I'm gonna read the tweet out. So he put, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision and building our future. I am running for president of the United States." So how do y'all feel about Kanye running for president 2020?
I think off top, it's a great distraction.
Man.
I like that. I like that.
He said he was gonna do it though. He told us that whatever
on them MTV awards back in the day.
Yeah.
So we just now know that when he say something, he's serious about it. My whole thing is that we just got to figure out what we doing so that the black vote don't get split. We do need unity in the black vote, so we gonna have to figure out if we all Kanye or we all Biden, and we gonna need to figure that out fast.
You know what? And to be honest with you, I'm still waiting. Obviously, this information just came out yesterday, so there's still not a lot of information out there. But as we gather more information right now, guys, this is just our opinions. We're just talking about our opinions on it.
Right.
There's not a lot of factual information out there to discuss. But I will say this: I'm still waiting to see what his platform would be, as far as his agenda items, as far as the people that he's surrounding himself with. We still don't even know what party he's going to run there under. Obviously, it more likely have to be independent. But I think that I'm still waiting to see. I'm not going to just discount him because he's Kanye. I'm not also going to vote for him just because he's Kanye. I think the information has to be legit. I think there has to be a point in our lives where, as Black people, we're starting to support people who support us.
Right.
I think we can't just discredit him either, too, because if you think about it, right, we looking at it for people's, perception that he's crazy Kanye, right? But let's keep it real, though. Kanye West still got good relationships with a lot of the rap community in the rap world who basically speak for opinions that represent and look like the Black community, right? So I don't think he gets that seat and he just pushes us all to the left. So you had Schwarzenegger, you had Trump. At this point, based on his relationships he got with people, I'm not saying I will or I won't, but why not Kanye?
You had Ronald Reagan, and you had a couple people who became presidents that you wouldn't think were going to be presidents. And so he's not far-fetched from putting his name in the hat. After having Donald Trump, do you really go down?
Right.
You don't really go down, in my opinion. You don't go any worse. So if you have somebody who has some kind of knowledge, I'll even give Kanye, at least he went into college for a little bit. Donald Trump became president all off of what? So yeah. So I'm not gonna say I'm a vote right off the back for Kanye. Of course, I want to see what my man's talking about, but do you go down from that person casted his name into candidacy? I don't think so.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what you're talking about, the distraction thing. But I think the reason why Trump won was because he wasn't a politician. I feel like everybody is tired of politicians and they lie. So it's kind of like, might as well. It's a long shot. Hail Mary. Let's try something different because everybody that we had so far ain't been good for Black people. So maybe this will be. I don't know.
And I think that's how you have people like Donald Trump when people are looking for a change. They're looking for something different, a divergent thinker, somebody who's going to come from a different perspective. And I don't know why we have this thing in this country where we feel like, oh, there's a billionaire or a millionaire who's running, and maybe he can relate to me, the common person, because he's not a politician. I don't understand that. When Donald Trump was born wealthy. Now Kanye wasn't. He came from the gutter. He went from the gutter to the big house. But I still think that we tend to always feel like people who are rich can relate to us. But I still think in this situation, particularly with Kanye, a lot of people are going to hold against him his mental health. He self-disclosed that he's diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is a mental health disorder that has marked by a lot of extreme highs, whether it's manic depressive disorder, where you have a lot of energy, you're up for days working hard, or you're just really depressed. So I think those peaks and valleys of the mental illness may cause a lot of people to feel like he's not qualified. But I always say there's a lot of people running around here, running the country, making decisions, running businesses who have mental health disorders that have not disclosed it, and make sure that keep their private health information private. So I don't know. I'm always waiting to see with all these people.
So I mean,
Trump, he never said he did or did not have a mental health illness or situation going on. So at this point, do we know if he's got one or not? I mean, a lot of things that he does and says we could lead to believe that he does have some type of mental health issues that are going on with him himself. I don't know, man. I mean, Kanye got, like you said, a good shot. Comes from an educational background with his mother. There's a lot of different reasons why you could vote for him. And honestly, at this point, if it came down to the final two on the ballot being Trump or Kanye, I do know where my vote's going.
Well, and that's the part about it, though. A lot of people, even when Trump became president, there was a lot of people who were saying, "Can Trump really be president?" And I was saying, "Is that man's name on the ballot?" Once you get your name to the ballot, you never know what could happen because the most unlikely situation can take place. My other side, though, is will Middle America take him seriously? Like, Kanye and Middle America, at least, they really didn't push hard for Barack. So with Kanye, I can see it going the other way. And that would scare me from that perspective. If you do have a Kanye and Trump, we may end up with Trump because when you start to dig into people's lives as they do in these political races, we already know as much as we can about Trump's background. With Kanye, they can go really, really deep. So will he stay in the race once his life starts to get exposed? And from what I've seen about Kanye, once he starts to get exposed a little bit, he tends to fall back some. So another just perspective of mine.
But Kanye is a Kardashian, though, bro. At this point, what don't we know about his life?
I like it.
Hey, there's a lot, though. You got to think about it. Like, you're right, though. As an entertainment artist, we kind of know that level of what goes on in his bedroom and things of that nature that people feel like are important to the entertainment world. To him being the leader of what we call the free country, what are we going to find out about him? Maybe his wife, maybe his family, things that we don't know. I think there's a lot of scrutiny and a microscope that you go under once you go into political office. Man, there's a guy that I went to college with who was running for president out in Tulsa. I mean, not president, for the mayor out in Tulsa, man. And as soon as he came out and disclosed that he was running for the mayor, he was kind of drugged in the media as far as sexual assault allegations and things of that nature. Now, obviously, we don't know if any of that is true or not, but it shows you that a lot of times, once you come out, even with Joe Biden, once people started to see he was going to run, his name started to get dragged through the mud. So I think, is he equipped to handle that dragging through the mud process?
Right. What was you going to say? You think so? I don't know, man.
I don't know if he, like I said, he's going to fall back with a lot of that stuff. But I think, as y'all talked about before, and him being a Kardashian, we've seen so much of them. How important is Kim going to be a part of that? Like, being the first lady. Is people going to see Kim as a first lady? Like, do y'all think that, even though she's doing a lot of prison reform and some good stuff, and I respect Kim for a lot of stuff that she has done, but do y'all see Kim as a first lady? And then second point to that is, a lot of people didn't vote in our community. A lot of Black people didn't vote this last time. So would we make up this time for the votes that we didn't cast last election? So he might make up some ground, man. If you think Trump versus Yeezy, people probably gonna pick Yeezy.
I mean, you got to think he's getting support right now. I saw that Elon Musk is supporting Kanye. Yeah. I mean, and then let's also think about it. For all the things we've seen about the Kardashians, all the different stuff they've been involved in, have they ever lost a significant amounts of followers on Instagram or anything, any platform that they're on when they get involved in stuff? Now, I know voting is a little different, but they don't lose no money. People can.
She got $1 billion. The sister got $1 billion, cuz she got $1 billion.
She got $1 billion on her own. So last time I checked, it don't matter what they do. They don't lose no money. So they damn sure probably ain't going to lose no votes.
I think the biggest thing that's going to happen, though, that I think we're saying too, is that it's going to bring out the African-American vote. Because now you got somebody that everybody, for the most part, can at some point say, oh, I know that guy. So if he starts to say, get out and vote, you start to see probably the numbers tick up of African Americans coming out to vote, because now they're aware of it. It becomes the cool thing to do. Look, we got somebody in hip hop who's now in politics. So,
right.
which kind of sad, but it becomes the cool thing to do. Go out and vote. Even though P. Diddy and all of them are like, hey, go vote, go vote. Now you got a reason to watch Kanye go from state to state throughout this country. And next thing you know, everybody's like, hey, this is something that we can really get on the bandwagon with. So to what Mr. Bradley was saying, shoot, it may turn into something because it's now out there.
Imagine Killer Mike is his advisor.
I would love to see, somebody like Killer Mike run for a political position. I think he does a really good job of articulating himself, expressing himself, and having actual agenda items that he wants to bring to the table. And again, he is one of those people. Although he was raised, his parents were his dad was a police officer. He was one of those people who was raised in the mud and had to come up, and he's a black man in America and had to deal with those black male experiences. So that's somebody that I would love to see. Right now Forbes has Kanye net worth at 1.3 billion. Would it be? So I mean, obviously, some people would say, he's a successful businessman, but I think just because somebody has the ability to be successful with a business doesn't necessarily mean that they can go out here and run the country. And I think we've seen that essentially in some regards with our current president. So I think it's always going to be something that you have being discussed in households right now. As more information comes out, as more and more people talking about it, you're going to see a lot of different opinions. And as we get more information, again, we're kind of in the early stages of this, so there's a lot of limited information. But as we get more information, we'll definitely get an understanding of what's going on.
Right. And we'll see how serious he is once they start really talking about what is your platform? What are you really pushing for? And he has to give more than the black community. And I'm sorry to say, he's going to have to talk about global economy. He's going to have to talk about the state of, the United States, not just one community. So then that's when we'll start to see how he looks at reform, how he looks at, his actual candidacy. And I think that's going to start to make the difference. And again, if he says, this is how we can improve the black community, you can see how he can transition that into other communities. But again, like you were saying, it comes down to what is he really going to stand on and what he really can produce as unity of various communities coming together to vote for one person. I think that's the hard thing.
Isn't he diversified within himself, right? Like, let's look at it for this. Basically, if Kanye West's mom was a professor, which she was, there's some part of him that was raised in a middle class type of surrounding. But in order to be an artist, he had to basically drop back down to the bottom, start from the bottom, build his platform, establish himself. He's probably been in studios and in different types of walks of life with all different types of dudes, which we do know that to be. So essentially what I'm saying is that Kanye West is a very well-rounded person just within the rap community and black culture. Now you add the fact that he has a wife that puts him in a biracial relationship, and him being related to the Scotts and the different people and the Bruce Jenners and all these different people of the world. I mean, and now the Caitlyn Jenners of the world. Like, he has diversified himself amongst a lot of different groups of people. He's got an LGBT following that will probably back him due to the his situation with Caitlyn Jenner and his relationship to her. He's got the black community who he's just got to shore up some things in. And last time I checked, any black man that was associated with the South Side of Chicago or Chicago in general came out with a presidency cap on his head. So the man got a chance.
Yeah, but also in that time period, he put on that "Make America Great Again."
Got me there.
I mean, you slowed out a little bit to do that. So, man, just to get your point across, you gonna sell out a little bit. I can't ride with that.
Right. That's what I was thinking too, though.
Because I think that in some regards, there was a lot of people who were mad at him about that. And I mean, to me, look, you support who you support. To me, that didn't take away from your artistry. I can separate the man from the artist, so that was easy. Like, look, I may not support or agree with his politics, but as an artist, I still rock with him. But now, as he's stepping into this political realm, we're better able to see, okay, what are your real politics? Because a lot of people to say, hey, I'm a Republican, so therefore I'm a Trump supporter, right? And when you at a point, and when you have that type of money, it's easy to figure out why people are going to be Republicans, because capitalism, right? From the perspective of America is make money, right? Make as much money as you can. So, I can see why somebody would want to jump on that train, but I can also see how you can jump on the train early in the process, and then later on figure out, look, maybe this wasn't the right train, because I believe that you can do something early, or you can say something early, and then as you get more information, be able to say, look, I got more information. I chose to think or say or do differently.
I agree with that.
Jeff, what was you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, with racial tension right now and kind of we doing this whole Black Lives Matter thing, I think if the right people get behind him, he gonna get a lot of the sympathy votes, bro. Like, to be honest, like, people are gonna vote for him that probably wouldn't vote for him because of what's going on in the world right now. And if the right people get behind him and people really push that narrative of this might be good for black people, the dude might be able to win, bro.
Yeah, you never know, man. I think when Trump first jumped out there, no one knew that he was going to win. So, I appreciate you brothers jumping on. As always, there's more and more discussions to come. I drug you guys away from your families for a couple minutes, man, and I appreciate it. You guys continue to stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys next go around.
Get your name on the ballot.
Vote or die. Vote or die.
All right.